I was gonna talk about a movie on Netflix called like Call Me King or something like that. I didn't finish it. It was bad. It was really really bad. Watch it if you want to. I don't remember if that was the title. I think it was. I couldn't finish it. It was really bad. I'm the martial arts film freak. Have you seen Falcon Rising?
I want to go where Cindy was found.
The favela isn't exactly a tourist destination.
Well, I'm not your regular tourist.
Falcon Rising was directed by Ernie Barbarosh and stars Michael Jai White, Layla Ali, Neil McDonough, and Lateef Crowder, among others. The movie follows Michael Jai White's character, John Falcon, who upon discovering that his sister was nearly killed in Brazil, goes investigating, and in doing so entangles himself in just lies and corruption, and people may not be who they say they are. The movie opens on some pretty dark stuff. John Falcon is a veteran suffering from some PTSD and maybe some depression in there as well. And within the first 3 minutes of the movie, he attempts to kill himself. He trains aggressively as if it's punishing himself. And then also, while at a store shopping for more liquor, vodka, whichever, the store is robbed, and he stops the robbery by putting the dude's shotgun to his head and saying, "Do it, dude, do it." And it looks badass. It looks bad, but really, it's a cry for help. Layla Ali gives a powerhouse performance, and by that I mean she is really believable as a coma patient. Pulls it off flawlessly. Neil McDonough is in this movie, the world's greatest squinter. He gives a fine performance in between his Brazil vacation time. I think he only took the movie because he was like, "It's in Brazil? Yeah, I can fit that in." He squints a lot, people. In like everything. The movie's got a pretty simple story. Yeah, there is a bunch of corruption and crime and stuff that, there's some twists and turns. But the twists are honestly pretty obvious. Once you kind of meet certain characters, you're like, no, that guy's a bad guy. He just looks awful. Like, not bad, just mean. I feel like the movie thinks it does a reveal and is like, oh, they're the bad guys. But really, you're watching it and you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I knew that. I accept it. I figured. And I think the movie really tries to give it a twist when the whole time before the twist even happens, those certain characters are just dicks. Like, you've got certain characters that are definitely coming off as the good people, very nice people, and then them, and they're just mean to everyone, and they're dicks. And then the movie still tries to be like, oh, they're the bad guys. But no, like, they were dicks, we figured. Like, if they would have suddenly been like, oh, it turns out the nice people, it was just a shroud, and now they're the mean people. No, they're good the whole time, all the way through. They're good people. Michael Jai White is good in this role. I don't think Michael Jai White is ever really that bad of an actor. I honestly think he is a good actor. There's a reason he is cast in The Dark Knight. Granted, it's a very short role. There's a reason he got the lead of Spawn, and it's also because he looks menacing and big and strong, and he's huge. But there's a reason that Tyler Perry casts him in some TV shows and maybe a movie that I haven't seen. I'm not sure. I just know he's in a TV show. Because, he is a fairly good actor. Maybe there's some range that he has yet to hit and he'll maybe figure it out, but he's a fine actor. Lateef Crowder. This is exciting. So I will give praise to any movie that gives Lateef Crowder a major role. I think he is a very underappreciated martial artist. I know he is a stuntman. He's got some stunts in the Twilight movies. He was a stuntman for the Book of Eli. But he's just too incredible to just be a stuntman. That he needs at least like some major henchman roles. I don't know if you know what I mean, but any action or martial arts movie where there's just like that one badass henchman. You remember in the 80s it was always that one Asian guy that was an awesome henchman? That's who Lateef Crowder should be. Or at least the big blonde brother from Die Hard. Lateef Crowder needs that role in every action movie because he is way too underappreciated and he should have the work. If you need some evidence of this, watch his fight with Tony Jaa in The Protector, watch his fight with Scott Adkins in Undisputed 3, and he also played Eddie Gordo in the Tekken movie, which is the perfect casting. But sadly, Lateef Crowder isn't entirely wasted. I just think that there was much more potential what they could have done with his character. Maybe not in terms of like branching out the character's interests and personality. You know, Lateef Crowder's not a great actor. There's even one scene where he kind of gives a look of like, I don't know what we should do, man. But he didn't say it. He just kind of gives this look like... And you know that scene was silent because he probably can't act. I mean, he has one scene where he does actually get a fair decent amount of speaking lines, and he pulls them off pretty well, but that's probably just because the only instruction for those lines were, be a badass, and I don't think that's very hard for Lateef Crowder. But no, his action, much like I think a lot of the action in this movie, was fairly disappointing. He has one sort of squash match fight scene towards the beginning of the movie. That's fairly entertaining, you know, he's just kicking a guy's ass, all capoeira. If you want to see good capoeira in any movie, you gotta have Lateef Crowder there. I highly suggest going on YouTube and looking up his demo reel, because it's amazing. I'll get back to some of Lateef Crowder flaws after I talk about the flaws in some of Michael Jai White's fight scenes. And really the only flaws I feel in his fight scenes, at least in one of them, is he's not very loose in this movie. He just feels like he was really tight, like I don't know, like he didn't stretch. It's weird. I don't know, maybe I see it for some reason, I don't know. He just doesn't move very fluidly. And at some points I kind of feel like, oh, that might be kind of the character thing. Like, he isn't a fucking ninja, you know? He isn't Isaiah Bone from Blood and Bone. He isn't, you know, in Blood and Bone, he may as well be a damn ninja. But in this, he's just an army vet who knows how to kick your ass. So it sort of makes sense on how he's not going to have, like, the most fluid be water of movement. He has this sort of slower fighting style. And so I kind of give it a break for that, but it's just not that appealing to me. But I think I understand it from that perspective. But then back to Lateef Crowder is in the final fight scene. The final fight is Michael Jai White against three guys. Lateef Crowder, another bad character, and then like a Yakuza guy. And it's all 3-on-1. And it wasn't shot very well for one. And then I don't think the choreography was very good. And what I think it definitely should have done was just have Lateef Crowder versus Michael Jai White, because you could choreograph something epic with Lateef Crowder and Michael Jai White. The only reason I think they may not have done that is because Ernie Barbarosh probably saw Undisputed 3 and saw Lateef Crowder, there's a bird outside, and saw Lateef Crowder's fight with Scott Adkins in that. And he probably didn't want to copy it. Maybe even Lateef and Michael Jai White didn't want to copy it. But don't copy it, make it your own. The fight just seemed kind of wasted. You know, he takes him out not all in one, just one after another, and it's not the most exciting thing. It wasn't choreographed very well. And it just seems like it could have been so much more. You know, you've got two people right there that are very talented. The Yakuza guy's probably got something. The third bad guy, I'm sure, really didn't know anything. He was just kind of there. And for that, you could have just made him like the boss who doesn't really know how to fight. He can probably scrap and throw some punches, but he could just be like, you know, Michael Jai White makes it through the Yakuza guy. He makes it through Lateef, and they're both a big, hard fight. And then he gets to the main final guy, and yeah, the dude throws some punches, but in the end, Michael Jai White just pretty much destroys him. That's how I think it probably should have gone. Unfortunately, it did not. And for that, I think the fight really suffers. So in the end, with, to me, some pretty poor fight scenes and a story that's just okay, and, you know, everyone doing okay, I think I would give this movie 2.9 angry training sessions out of 5. It's it sucks, but it's not his best movie. I definitely feel like it's still a fun movie, and you should probably watch it if you can find it on Netflix. If you can rent it somewhere, it's definitely a fun watch. I recommend it. Any Michael Jai White movie is nearly good. You know, I haven't seen Android Cop. I don't want to, but you know, it's Michael Jai White with some pretty good fight scenes. Lateef Crowder is always amazing, no matter what. Even if the shots aren't that great, Lateef Crowder's still giving it a really good show. So the movie's definitely worth a watch. Definitely check it out. Even though I don't really like the movie closes with hints of maybe a sequel. You know, John Falcon saying like he'll come back for another job and start working again. From what I've read, is this movie's actually supposed to kick off a trilogy. However, as much as I don't like the movie, I'd like to see that, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's been a long time since the first movie came out a few years ago, and I just don't think it's going to happen. I would like to see it. I would like to see some more of these movies, even though I don't like this one, but probably not. Probably not going to happen. What do you think? Have you seen Falcon Rising? What's your favorite Michael Jai White movie? What's your favorite Michael Jai White fight? Have you seen any of Lateef Crowder's stuff? Do you enjoy his stuff? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Hit the notification button if you want. Let you know every time I put a video up. I try to get one up every week. Next week I'm trying to get a couple because I'm going to try to do the Blade movies before Black Panther comes out. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.